December 11th, 12th, something like that. But we just went to Zumba this morning and now we came home and are having the absolute best vegan. It's so good I can't hold my phone. It's the best vegan nacho cheese we've ever made. It's so
good.
Kid approved. I'm sure my husband would like it. It is so good. Made with carrots and potatoes, you guys. There's not even anything unhealthy in there. And there's veggies and it tastes straight up nacho cheesy. It's so good.
It does not taste like veggies.
We found the recipe on YouTube and check out Hot for Food. They have the most amazing vegan recipes. So this is one of her recipes. Hot for Food. So good. Hola, it is Wednesday, November 13th. And today we went to Zumba again. I asked them why it's free, because I've never been to a free Zumba class in my life. And they said it's because the town pays the teachers so that they can offer it as a free service to the community, which, hello, every town should do that. That is so cool. And the age ranges from my kids, my youngest is 6, and there's like much older people there, and everyone's just dancing and having a good time. And they do it Monday through Friday in the public in a big open shady area. I'm looking forward to continuing to go every morning because it's fun and you just get your blood pumping. It's a great way to meet new people. I think every community should do something like that. I mean, how much does it cost to pay a few teachers to teach a class rather than charging per person, right? Because I would have to pay like for myself and my 3 kids every single day. I probably wouldn't go, but if it's free, that's awesome. So I'm really happy that I found that. And we love to dance and we love to listen to music and have fun. So that's just a really great way to start, to continue our fitness journey. Except that this morning in my fitness journey, I probably embarrassed the heck out of myself and nobody told me. I just went to go take a shower. And when I took off my sweatpants, these are the sweatpants that I was wearing this morning. Do you see that hole?
We just lost electricity.
We just lost electricity?
Yes. Look.
It'll come back soon. It'll be back soon. Go do your schoolwork.
Okay. At least we're down using the lights.
Yeah, that's fine.
Besides, if we don't need to like wash anything.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we lose electricity like several times a week now. And last week when I was preparing for my guest ministers to come, we lost electricity like on the day they were supposed to come and I wasn't done. That was panicking. Like I was panicking about that. But other than that, if we lose it nowadays, I'm just like, whatever, it'll come back. The town a lot of times shuts it off because they're fixing other places. And so they'll shut off our electricity so that they can fix somebody else's. So that's fine. So anyway, back to my embarrassment that never happened. Nobody in the whole class told me, hey, maybe you shouldn't be kicking so high. Hey, maybe you shouldn't be squatting. That is not like a little tiny hole. That is a big mama jamma. Like I can fit my fist pretty much through that hole in my crotch. And nobody told me, hey, I can see your bright purple underwear. Stop squatting. Like, it would have been nice to know. It's Thursday evening, December 14th. Today started out normal. We went to Zumba, which is our new thing. Came home, homeschooled, ate lunch. We're hanging out and decided we wanted to go for a walk to the beach. My kids were all playing in the water and then I decided to get in. Juliet and Annabelle stayed close to the shore. Joshua and I decided to go past the breaking point so we wouldn't keep getting smacked in the face by the waves. So we swam out far enough where we were still touching the ground and the waves were coming and breaking closer to the shore, so we were just able to like jump over the waves and or dive under the waves, and we were having a good time. Well, this huge wave came and we jumped over it, and when it passed we realized we weren't touching the ground anymore. So I said, Joshua, I'm not touching the ground. He's like, I'm not either. And I said, well, let's swim closer to the shore. Well, today there was a really strong like current in the opposite direction. So Joshua starts swimming towards the shore, and I hear him say, I'm touching the ground now. He wasn't that far away from me. And I was like, I'm still not touching the ground yet. So I kept swimming, and I couldn't touch the ground. And then he started yelling, Mommy, are you okay, Mommy? Mommy, are you okay? And I couldn't answer him. And I saw him getting further and further away, and the waves were getting bigger, and they were starting to go over my head. And I was swimming and wasn't getting closer to shore. I kept getting further and further away. I looked at him, and the thought went through my mind of, ask him to swim out to you to get you. My son is 10. I'm not a strong swimmer. He is a strong swimmer. So the thought quickly went through my head of like, just ask him to come get you. Or obviously I didn't ask him that. And then the thought went through my head of, tell him to go get help. But honestly, we're in Puerto Rico, and swimming is not really a big thing here. People don't swim. People don't know how to swim. It's kind of like if you're born and raised around something, you just take it for granted. You have a respect for it. People mostly stay out of the water altogether, but they don't really know how to swim. So I'm like, even if I send him for help, who's he gonna find around here? We're literally across from some little bars. So I'm gonna go ask some person who's been drinking to come help me in this strong tide. And then I saw Joshua's panic, because he could see me struggling, and his Mommy, are you okay? Turned into, Mommy, are you okay? Mommy. And then I just yelled back, get out of the water. Joshua, get out of the water. And the water was going over my head, and I could see my girl standing on the shore. And I could see him swimming closer to the shore, to where he got to the point where he was standing only in knee-deep water. And he kept yelling for me. And I just was thinking, like, I didn't come out here to die today. I didn't come out here to drown in front of my kids. Like that's not what the purpose of today was. And I just got determined. I was exhausted, and I felt like I couldn't swim anymore. And I was getting further and further away, but I just got determined. And finally my foot touched, I could feel like a rock under my foot. But the weight, the toe undercurrent pulled me back out again. And then the next time I swam, I felt like this really big rock covered in moss under the water, and so I grabbed onto it, and the strong waves pulled me back like so that I released my grip. It pulled me away from it. So the next effort that I made to swim, I was able to get more of a footing on that rock, and it kind of lifted me up out of the water, and I was able to walk to a place where I can stand on the sand and walk out of the water. And Juliet was standing on the shore, and she's like, what happened? And I just needed to catch my breath. Like I was literally out of breath. So I sat down, and once I caught my breath, I explained to her what was happening. And Joshua was just visibly shaken. He was just standing there like really serious, just staring off into space. Like, yeah, so I looked at him and I said, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay. And I said, I know that was scary. And he's like, I was about to start crying. So I used it as a teaching moment, and I was like, well, crying wouldn't have helped the situation. You know, when you find yourself in a situation like that, you have to start speaking. Speak to the situation. Annabelle, she was just kind of like, yeah, I saw your head bopping up and down out of the water. I couldn't, that was weird. And then she just kept playing in the sand. Like, but Juliet and Joshua, especially Joshua, were very visibly shaken. And so I held them, and we just sat there in silence, staring off into space for like a really long time. And then I just said, let's pray. And we prayed, and thank God for protecting us. I was the most grateful that it didn't happen to him, that my son's been taking swim classes for several years, and he was a strong enough swimmer to outswim that tide. And because if that had happened to him, the heck was I gonna do it? Like, and I'm grateful that I was able to stay calm and determined. But that was the freaking scariest thing in the world. And on the way home, I just prayed that, you know, the kids were riding their scooters and they were pretty far ahead of me. And I just was praising God, like walking down the street with my arms raised above my head, just praising God. But I prayed that my son wouldn't be traumatized, that he loves to swim, he loves the ocean. I prayed that it wouldn't, you know, put a fear in him of the ocean. A respect, yes, but not a fear. And I prayed that he wouldn't keep seeing that image in his mind over and over again of his mom getting further away. And then we went to the pool and the condos, and they were having fun and everything was fine. And to this moment, they're fine. But it's all these hours later that I'm realizing that I'm the one who's kind of traumatized by it, because I keep seeing my son in the water getting further and further away, and he's yelling for me, and I couldn't come closer no matter how much I tried. And I just thought if I talk about it to you, that I'll be able to process it. I already journaled it, and that didn't help. So I thought if I talk about it, I'll be able to process it. And actually, this is helping. I don't want to talk to my husband about it because his personality type is already very cautious and very safety first, you know, careful, that kind of thing. So I don't want him to freak out from now on every time we go to the beach because he heard this story. So I'm talking to you about it, and it actually is helping. I thought I would have to have like a big sob session, but I actually don't feel like crying. I just feel grateful. That was intense, guys. Thank you for allowing me to process this. I just need to breathe. I don't want that image stuck in my head. I journaled it because I was grateful and I didn't want to forget what happened and what God did for me. But I don't want to have that image in my head anymore. And so I release it. And I'm going to go to bed thinking about beautiful, prosperous, awesome, happy God things. Hello, it is Saturday, November 16th, and I'm hanging out with Annabelle. It's just the two of us. I wanted to address what happened at the beach to me. What it is called a rip current, and you have to, and I totally knew about this before. Rip currents, like I researched them. I knew what to do if that happens to you, but when I was actually in the situation, I didn't think about, this is a rip current, I need to swim diagonal, you know, I need to swim parallel to the shore. I wasn't thinking any of that. I was just thinking I need to get back to the shore. If you live anywhere near the ocean, or you're gonna plan on being anywhere near the ocean, Google rip currents and how to survive them, because That really was the scariest thing that ever happened to me. But enough about that. Today, Annabelle and I did some shopping, and now we're headed to the mall in Mayagüez. We've never been there before, so we want to go check it out and see what stores they have and how close it is to like your typical Jersey mall. There's so many malls in New Jersey, like so many.
The only two stores that I know that it doesn't have, that I actually know that it doesn't have, is Justice and the Lego store.
Yes, because.
And those in Puerto Rico.
And why do you know that there's no Justice or Lego store in this Mayagüez mall?
Because there's none of those in Puerto Rico.
Because there's not a single Justice or Lego store in the entire of Puerto Rico. Yes.
Yeah, I just said that.
And someone asked me yesterday if I have all my Christmas shopping done. But we are actually going to be in New York City and New Jersey for Christmas, and that ended up being the gift. So instead of buying presents, we're going to travel to the States so they can see their best friends, and I can see my best friend, and they can see their grandma, and they can go to we can go to our favorite restaurants, we can go check out the sights in New York City, experiencing life instead of getting more stuff. So we're not going to the mall to buy anything. We just want to go walk around, check it out, get some exercise, see what pretty stuff we can look at. So check it out with us. What?
A big lollipop.
Yeah, those are Puerto Rican lollipops.
Is it Puerto Rican lollipop?
Called a pilon.
Pilon. Another
Pilon
one
de
over
limon, pilon de... No, don't hit them together.
Look.
Ya te vas, mediodía.
Cool.
Mira, ven y prueba.
Oh, thank you, yes.
Budín, guayaba, mango y queso crema.
¿Agua con leche?
Seguro que sí.
¿Y ya puedes probar?
Sí. Dame un segundito, espérate. Espérate, que yo soy supersticioso.
Queso de quema, wow.
Mira, mami. Con mi permiso.
Yeah.
Mami, mira,
Have it.
con permiso. Mira qué cara más linda.
You like it?
Pero por aquí.
We're getting some of that. That's
Coge
good.
el que tú quieras.
You want?
Mira, tienen pastel.
She brought me some.
Mayan
Look,
living.
it smells good.
Jewelry. Oh, look. Oh, I remember this smell from when I was a kid.
Ooh. Why is it so smoky?
My dad used to burn that stuff in the house all the time.
Huh? What?
My dad used to burn stuff like that in the house all the time.
Wait, they're burning it?
It's incense.
I didn't see where you were. I was just standing there.
$2.
Huh?
$3 for $1 on that side.